Hey everybody. I just wanted to update you on my life right now and what I've been doing and what's going on and just kind of stuff like that. So I wanted to let you guys know about my acting. I've been trying to get an agent for a couple months now. I've been trying like really super hard since the very beginning of February. So I'm trying to do that. But anyway, so I've already had people email me back about like me meeting them for an interview or whatever, and I had two people that wanted to interview me. The first one that I went on was back February 12th, and that was with a management company actually. But the management company works with a talent agency, and so if the management company signs you on as a client, then so will the agency. And I met with the girl. She seemed nice and all, but it was just, I don't know, I didn't feel the connection with her. And that's kind of important because you're supposed to be able to talk to your manager because managers are very personal with you. They're much more personal than agents, and you're supposed to feel good with your agent. And I have no idea what their agency's like, and I wasn't going to meet with an agency, meet with the agency if I wanted to sign. It was just going to be through the management company, and then I'd meet my agent later on, and I didn't like that. So even though she offered me uh, representation as a manager, and that would have meant I would have had an agent. Sorry, I can't talk. I just decided not to take it because I felt like that was not the best opportunity for me, and that it would be better if I just waited to get a better agent. And then also because managers have to take commission just like your agents do, right? Managers take 20% and agents take 10%. So right off the bat, there's 30% of my money that I make, whatever I make, goes straight into their pockets. And then also another 15%, I think it's 15%, has to go into a bank account called a Coogan account, and that's what you have to have in order to like work in this business. You have to have a certain amount of your money, a certain percentage, put into a bank account that you cannot touch until you're 18. Like I'm sure most of you guys have probably heard of like celebrities trying to get their money out before they're 18, but you cannot touch this money until you're 18 years old. And also that you like only I would be able to access that account. Like my mom's not allowed to touch that money. That's the reason why they started in the first place, was so that parents couldn't spend their kids' money. Um, but also, anyway, so I didn't decide to go with them. So then I had another agency meeting on March, I think it was March 9th. And I went in and I met with the girl, and I thought it went really well. It felt great. I didn't think I did anything like wrong or whatever, but I got an email the next day saying that she wasn't interested in representing me right now because she already represents a couple girls that look like me, like, brown hair, brown eyes, Caucasian, like 14 to 17 age range, and she didn't feel it would be fair to me to like sign me on because she wouldn't be able to send me out on as many auditions necessarily, like because there's gonna be competition between all the actors that are out there, plus there'd be competition within the agency too, and I just people just don't like that. They like to have like more individual like looks so they can just send those people out, like, and there's no competition within their agency. Although I don't really get that, but whatever, it was her choice. So yeah, she said no. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop trying, and that doesn't mean like I mean I'm not discouraged at all. I'm still trying to get an agent. Nothing's gonna stop me from doing that, unless it's like years from now and nothing's happening and I have to go to college. Um, but yeah, so I went to a workshop, well, not a workshop, a showcase for agencies on Saturday, where I did a scene, a cold reading scene, in front of 5 agents, and 4 of them are from really big talent agencies. Anyway, so I went and I performed for them, and then we did a Q&A afterwards with all the agents, and I learned a lot of really valuable stuff. That's really gonna help me get an agent. And then, well, somebody asked about a term called legal 18, which I guess is like how you can be considered an adult, like legally an adult in the entertainment industry before you are 18. And the way you do that is by taking this test called the California High School Proficiency Exam. And so for short, it's CHSPE. And you take the test, and if you pass the test, it's pretty much you've graduated high school. That certificate that you get after you pass the test counts as a diploma to anywhere you go, whether it's like college or whether it's legally, like you need the diploma to be considered an adult. It's your diploma, and all of the agencies, like right away, like without a doubt, they said, if you can do this, go and do this, because it'll open up so many different opportunities. Because as soon as you get that and you have that certificate that you can show anybody, you no longer have child labor laws affecting you. And then also, if you are in school, whether you are homeschooled or not, you have to have a set teacher on set at all times, no matter what. Like, even if you're not doing homeschooling through the teacher, they have to be there. And that costs money, and you have to also go to school, like set school. You have to have, I think, at least like 3 or 4 hours a day. It's really complicated. It's a lot harder for the management or the managers, the producers, because they have to schedule all that around you. And so it's just, if they can get somebody who works just as hard as you and is just as good as you, but is, has that, they're gonna choose that person. So I brought up to my mom that whole thing about taking the test and being able to do that, and she agreed to let me take the test. After you take the test and you pass it, you don't have to go back to school. So even though I'm a junior this year, if I take the test and pass it in June, I don't have to go to senior year. I am legally, I have graduated. Um, but it looks better if you go back to school, like if you still can, if, like the whole thing is that, um, like I would take the test and then I'd pass it, and then I'd still keep doing school like I normally would. But if I were to get a lot of auditions all of a sudden, or I sign I book a job and won't be at school for a couple weeks, then I just stop going to school. It's not a problem. I legally am able to. Uh, so we're gonna do that, and then also just this summer. Well, I guess okay, that's enough on that part. And then I just want to let you just kind of like know, and I'm gonna vent and whatever about what I want to do this summer, because I have to take summer school to redo a class that I took back freshman year. It was just English. First semester I took honors, and I'm not an honors student. I can't do honors. I'm not like, I guess I'm not hardworking enough, because I might be smart enough, although I'd still struggle really hard in that class, even if I was a good worker. But, so anyways, I failed that class. Not failed, so that it wouldn't count towards, like, actual graduation. Like, as of right now, I'm fine on graduation credits. But if I wanted to go straight to a university here in California, you have to have a certain amount of credits, and you can't have, any classes that had a D. You have to retake them. And so I got a D, and you have to have a C. So I have to go and I have to redo that and get a C and pass, and then that'll be all good. But so that's gonna take up some time, and then also I have to get a job, because like me and my family are struggling really, really hard financially right now. Um, like we're gonna have to move soon, because like we're gonna lose our house soon. I mean, we're okay. Like, we're not gonna be homeless, and we're not gonna like have to go without food, and it's not super super awful bad, but it's pretty bad. We're gonna have to move, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get a job, because if there's anything that I want to do, like I have to pay for acting lessons, which is a whole other thing that I can't afford, that I really 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 need to take too. um it's just, yeah, so I have to get a job, and I was thinking once I pass the test, I'll be able to work any hours I want to. So I think I'm gonna do like waitressing, or whatever like you want to call it, at like Denny's, just like a diner. that's open all night, and I'll do the night shift, like, so I'll start my shift at like maybe 11 at night, and then I won't be done till like 4 in the morning, or I don't know what the hours would be, but I'd work overnight when people are normally sleeping, because I'm a total night owl. I can stay up at night all I want. It's totally cool with me. So I think that would be a great job for me to do. And it pays okay. I mean, whatever, but you don't need anything like special. You don't need any talents to do that. And that'll help with paying for acting and stuff like that. And then, I still have to think about college and going to university and stuff like that. Um, I'm still doing well in school, and I'm still looking at colleges and stuff, just so that, like, if I do have to go, which unfortunately may be a possibility if I don't get into acting within, like, probably the next 2 years. Like, if I'm not consistently working and, like, making enough money to live off of, I'm probably going to have to stop trying to do acting and just go to college and just doing like research online about what universities I could go to. I've been thinking about whether I'd go straight to a university or do a community college first, because with the community college, it doesn't. Okay, well, okay, I have to go back and explain some more about the proficiency tests. If you take that, if you want to go to university, you still have to meet all the requirements that you have to go to straight to university, because you have to have some more credits than you do to graduate to go to university. And so I'd have to go and I'd have to make up whatever credits I don't have, uh, if I wanted to go straight to university. But I can also just go straight from having the the certificate to going into a community college, and then from a community college I can do a year there and then move up to university, and that would be fine. But I have to just start thinking about it a little bit, even though I'm only a junior, and I'm actually in my last quarter of junior year, and so yeah, it's just I have to start thinking about them because submission deadlines and stuff for colleges are at the end of this year, so I have to think about that. Back to like taking acting classes. I am trying so hard right now to find acting classes that are really cheap because they're expensive. If you want to take workshops, which are like little 3-hour classes that are only for they're one day, they're not continuous. They're just 3 hours. They usually are with casting directors or agents or people of that kind of nature. Even just those are like $50. And I mean, $50 may not be that much, and it's actually really cheap compared to what some other things are in this industry. But sometimes we don't have $50. Um, and then I was just told today by, I guess, a guy that's pretty much knows what's going on in the entertainment industry, in the business, whatever. Um, that workshops don't look good on your resume unless you've already trained with really good people and like you have all those continuous classes that you've already taken. Like workshops are just extra things. So I have to save up like between like I think $200 and like $500 to take between a 4 to 8 week class at a really good place. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna visit my dad, and I'm gonna have to ask him if he can give some money because he lives in Colorado and my parents are divorced, and just, yeah, there's a bunch of personal reasons that I really think he needs to pay some money to help me with this. It's expensive. My mom's been paying for me to do whatever I want to my entire life, and it's time he pays for some stuff. And also I'm trying to see if he would help me with the cost of trying to get my driver's license. Get your driver's license costs around $300. And that's not even to have a car. That's just to get the license to drive. I will talk to you all later. Bye.